But what happened before the standing ovation is the part almost nobody knows. Long before millions watched Courtney Hadwin leave the judges speechless, she was simply a quiet girl growing up in a small town in northeast England. To many people around her, she seemed shy and reserved. Few could have imagined that the same girl would one day perform with the confidence and energy of a seasoned rock star. Courtney Hadwin was born on July 6, 2004, in Hartlepool, England. She grew up in a loving and supportive family that noticed her deep love for music at a very young age. While other children enjoyed playing games or watching cartoons, Courtney found herself drawn to powerful voices from another era. She listened to artists like Janis Joplin, James Brown, Tina Turner, and Otis Redding. Their passion and emotion left a lasting impression on her. Yet there was one challenge that made her dream seem almost impossible. According to interviews with Courtney and her family, she struggled with extreme shyness. Even simple social situations could make her feel nervous. Speaking in front of strangers was difficult. Meeting new people was uncomfortable. Standing on a stage seemed like something she should never be able to do. But something strange happened whenever music began to play. The nervous girl seemed to disappear. In her place stood a fearless performer with wild energy, powerful vocals, and confidence far beyond her years. Music became more than a hobby. It became a place where she could truly express herself without fear. Her parents believed in her gift. Instead of pushing her toward fame, they encouraged her to enjoy singing and slowly gain confidence. Courtney entered local talent competitions and performed whenever she had the chance. Every performance became another small step forward. One of her earliest television appearances came on The Voice Kids UK in 2017. Although she did not win the competition, the experience taught her valuable lessons about performing under pressure. It also proved that setbacks do not always close doors. Sometimes they quietly prepare you for a much bigger opportunity. What do you think matters more, natural talent or the courage to face your fears? Share your thoughts in the comments below. At the time, Courtney had no idea that her biggest moment was still ahead. Across the Atlantic, one of the world's biggest talent shows was preparing for a new season. And soon, a shy teenager from England would walk onto that stage and deliver a performance that would leave millions in complete disbelief. But the biggest test of Courtney's life was only beginning. She had already faced her fears on smaller stages, but nothing could compare to what was waiting in America. Standing backstage at America's Got Talent in 2018, the stakes were higher than ever. Millions of viewers would be watching. One performance could change her future forever, or end the dream before it truly began. When Courtney walked onto the stage, she looked exactly like the shy teenager people expected. She spoke softly and seemed nervous while answering the judges' questions. Simon Cowell even wondered if she was ready for such a huge stage. The audience watched quietly, unsure of what would happen next. Then the music started. The first notes of Hard to Handle, made famous by Otis Redding, filled the theater. In an instant, Courtney transformed. The quiet teenager vanished. She moved across the stage with explosive energy, a gritty voice, and confidence that shocked everyone in the room. Her performance reminded many viewers of legendary rock singers from decades earlier. The judges could hardly believe what they were seeing. Howie Mandel was so amazed that he slammed the golden buzzer, sending Courtney straight to the live shows. Gold confetti rained down as the audience stood and cheered. Simon Cowell later described the performance as unforgettable, while videos of the audition spread rapidly across YouTube and social media. Within days, millions of people around the world were talking about the girl who had stunned America. But sudden fame also brought something Courtney had never experienced before. Every performance was now watched closely. Every note, every movement, and every decision was discussed online. Some people praised her unique style. Others questioned whether she could continue performing at such a high level. The pressure grew with each round of the competition. Still, Courtney refused to let the noise stop her. Week after week, she performed songs by artists such as Tina Turner and Steppenwolf, proving that her first audition was not a lucky moment. She earned enough public support to reach the finals of America's Got Talent, finishing among the season's top contestants. Although she did not win the competition, she had already achieved something many artists spend years chasing: global recognition. If you enjoy discovering the hidden stories behind the world's biggest stars, subscribe to the channel. There are many more inspiring journeys that reveal what really happens behind the spotlight. Courtney had become an international name almost overnight. But as the cameras faded and the applause became quieter, an even more difficult chapter was waiting. Because staying famous can be much harder than becoming famous. But what happened after America's Got Talent surprised even Courtney's biggest supporters. Many contestants enjoy a brief moment of fame before slowly fading from the public eye. Courtney Hadwin faced the same risk. The world knew her as the shy teenager with an unforgettable audition. The real challenge was proving that she was more than just one viral performance. After finishing in the top 10 of America's Got Talent Season 13, Courtney suddenly had opportunities she had only dreamed about. She was invited to perform on major television shows, appeared at live events, and gained fans from countries she had never even visited. Her audition video continued to collect hundreds of millions of views across different online platforms, introducing new audiences to her incredible voice. But success also meant making important choices. Instead of rushing to release music simply because she was famous, Courtney took time to develop her own sound. She wanted people to know her as an artist, not just as a talented teenager from TV show. That meant working with experienced producers, practicing constantly, and learning how the music industry really worked. In several interviews, Courtney explained that she wanted to stay true to herself. Rather than copying today's biggest pop stars, she continued drawing inspiration from classic soul, blues, and rock legends. It was an unusual path for someone her age, but helped her stand out in a crowded industry. As she grew older, Courtney began releasing original music. Songs like Pretty Little Thing gave fans a chance to hear her own style instead of covers made famous by other artists. It was an important step because writing and recording original songs allowed her to build an identity beyond talent competitions. Her fan base continued to grow. Many young singers admired her courage to be different, while older music lovers appreciated her old-school influences. That rare combination helped Courtney connect with audiences from different generations. Still, not every day was filled with applause. Building a long-term career takes patience. The excitement of viral fame eventually fades, and what remains is the hard work of creating music, improving as a performer, and earning respect one project at a time. Courtney understood that lasting success is built over years, not weeks. Everyone has faced moments where they wondered if they were good enough. Maybe you've had dreams that seemed too big or fears that held you back. Courtney's journey reminds us that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's choosing to keep going despite it. Yet behind every concert, every new song, and every smiling photo was a side of fame that fans rarely see. The pressure to live up to enormous expectations, the criticism from strangers, and the challenge of growing up in public would test Courtney in ways no audition ever could. And that hidden battle is where her story takes its most emotional turn. But behind the cheers and standing ovations was a struggle that cameras could never fully capture. For millions of fans, Courtney Hadwin looked like a fearless performer who was born to be on stage. The truth was much more complicated. Every performance came with pressure, and every new achievement brought even higher expectations. Becoming famous as a teenager meant growing up in front of the world. While most young people learn from their mistakes in private, Courtney's journey unfolded under constant public attention. Fans eagerly waited for every performance, every song release, and every social media update. At the same time, critics were always ready to compare her latest work with the unforgettable AGT audition that made her famous. That kind of pressure can be difficult for anyone. Courtney had already spoken openly about her extreme shyness before becoming famous. Although performing helped her express herself, it did not mean all of her fears disappeared overnight. Like many young artists, she still had to balance her personal life with the demands of a growing career. According to interviews and public appearances, her family remained one of her strongest sources of support. They encouraged her to focus on her passion instead of chasing public approval. That steady support helped her stay grounded while navigating an industry known for its intense competition. Another challenge was learning patience. Many people expected Courtney to release hit songs immediately after America's Got Talent. But building a real music career takes time. Recording original music, finding the right creative direction, and developing as a songwriter cannot be rushed. Rather than following every trend, she continued working toward becoming the kind of artist she truly wanted to be. Of course, the internet made everything harder. Social media gave Courtney a direct connection with fans around the world, but it also exposed her to criticism from complete strangers. Every artist faces opinions online, and young performers often experience them more intensely. Instead of responding to every negative comment, Courtney largely let her music speak for itself. Her journey became about more than singing. It became a story of resilience. It showed that success is not only measured by trophies or television ratings. Sometimes, success means continuing to believe in yourself when the excitement fades and the spotlight becomes heavier than anyone expected. As viewers, it is easy to admire the finished performance. It is much harder to imagine the hours of practice, the emotional ups and downs, and the quiet moments of doubt that happen long before the curtain rises. The remarkable part of Courtney's story is not simply that she became famous. It is that she kept moving forward while staying true to the unique style that first captured the world's attention. But even after overcoming fear and proving herself on one of the biggest stages in entertainment, another question remained. What kind of future could she build beyond a television competition? And how would she turn early fame into a lasting career? But the most important part of Courtney Hadwin's journey was never about winning a television show. It was about proving that one unforgettable audition could become the beginning of a real career instead of the end of a viral moment. That challenge is where many talented contestants struggle. Courtney wanted to show that her story was only getting started. After America's Got Talent, she continued focusing on music rather than chasing quick fame. She released original songs, including Pretty Little Thing, and later followed with more music that reflected her love for rock, soul, and blues. Each release helped her move further away from being known only as the girl from AGT. Unlike many young artists who follow popular trends, Courtney stayed loyal to the music that inspired her as a child. The influence of Janis Joplin, James Brown, Tina Turner, and other legendary performers could still be heard in her voice and stage presence. That decision made her stand out in a world where many artists often sound alike. Public records do not show Courtney building a large business empire or launching major companies. Instead, her career has remained centered on music. Like many professional musicians, her income comes from a combination of song releases, live performances, streaming royalties, licensing opportunities, and collaborations. As her career grows, these opportunities may continue to expand. More importantly, Courtney has become an inspiration to thousands of young people. Many fans who struggle with anxiety or shyness see themselves in her story. They remember the quiet teenager who barely spoke before her audition. Then they remember the powerful performer who seemed completely transformed once the music began. That contrast carries a message far beyond entertainment. Everyone has faced moments when fear tried to stop them from chasing a dream. Maybe you've wondered whether your voice was strong enough, your talent was good enough, or your future was worth fighting for. Courtney's story reminds us that the greatest breakthroughs often begin with one brave step. Her journey also teaches another lesson. Success does not always happen in one giant leap. Sometimes it comes through years of learning, improving, and staying patient while the world waits for your next move. Courtney has continued to grow as both an artist and a person, proving that lasting careers are built through consistency rather than one viral moment. Today, fans continue to follow her music, eager to see what she creates next. While the future is impossible to predict, one thing is clear. The shy girl from Hartlepool has already left a lasting mark on millions of people who found hope in her courage. But every remarkable journey leaves behind an even bigger question. How will Courtney Hadwin's story be remembered years from now? And what is the legacy she is still writing? But perhaps Courtney Hadwin's greatest performance has nothing to do with the television stage. It is the example she has set for people who believe their fears are too big to overcome. Long after the golden buzzer stopped echoing and the headlines faded, her story continued to inspire those who needed hope the most. When people look back at Courtney's journey, they often remember the same unforgettable moment. A shy 13-year-old walked onto the America's Got Talent stage, speaking so quietly that few expected anything extraordinary. Then, within seconds of the music starting, she transformed into a confident performer with a voice that amazed millions. That moment became more than a viral video. It became proof that first impressions do not always reveal a person's true potential. Over the years, Courtney has continued to grow as an artist. Rather than allowing one television appearance to define her future, she has worked on creating original music and developing her own identity. Every new release has been another step toward building a career based on creativity instead of simply reliving one famous audition. Her journey also reminds us that success is not always measured by trophies. Although she did not win America's Got Talent, she achieved something that many winners never experience. She built a loyal global audience, earned the respect of music fans around the world, and inspired countless young people to believe in themselves despite fear and self-doubt. That may be her greatest achievement of all. For children struggling with anxiety, for teenagers afraid to stand out, and for adults who think it is too late to chase a dream, Courtney's story sends a simple but powerful message. Your greatest strength may be hiding behind your greatest fear. The future remains unwritten. As she continues writing songs, performing, and growing as an artist, new opportunities will surely appear. Whether she releases chart-topping albums, tours internationally, or explores new creative projects, one thing is certain. Her story is still being written, and many of its most exciting chapters may still lie ahead. In the end, Courtney Hadwin's life is not just about talent. It is about courage. It is about refusing to let fear decide your future. And it is about proving that sometimes the quietest voice in the room can become the one the whole world remembers. But this is only one story of fame, determination, and resilience. Another incredible celebrity journey hides even more surprising twists, heartbreaking setbacks, and unforgettable victories. If you're ready for another powerful documentary, be sure to watch the next video. You may discover a story that changes the way you see success forever.